Senator Kavindu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to, first of all, start by congratulating Honorable CS for the good work that she's doing and telling her to keep it up and to be strong and help the women of this country. And I ask her what she's doing about the GBV in Machakos, if we have any houses she's planning to build in Machakos as a rescue centers for gender-based violence, women and girls. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now, Honorable CS, that is not a supplementary question because it's not related to the primary questions. However, if you're in a position to respond, you may, but you're not obligated to respond to it now. Senator Kathuri Murungi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also want to really encourage the CS. Our performance is actually at 80% since this is the maiden appearance of the Senate. Honorable Speaker, I want to ask a supplementary question on the performance of the loan, Women Enterprise Fund. Performance of the loans disbursed since inception of Women Enterprise Fund to both the group loans and individual loans. And Mr. Speaker, since there has been a debate that there are so many funds out there, there is Women Enterprise Fund, Youth Enterprise Fund, Small Enterprises, Authority also has money giving to the small businesses. So whether the CS is comfortable, whether she supports corrupts of all these funds so that we can have one fund which is administered across bond so that, Mr. Speaker, we don't have so many funds across the country or in government, or whether she supports the corrupts of all these funds. Thank you.
Senator Karenyamu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to join my colleagues in congratulating the CS and tell her that her work is cut out for her. Of the women of Kenya, our expectations are very high on this docket, on her docket. We want her to think about her legacy and the impact this position is going to have on the women of Kenya, and to ignore the noise because public work can attract a lot of noise, but we support you. And anytime you need us to help you with any legislative proposal you may have, we are here to support you. Thank you.
Senator Veronica Maina.
Honorable CS, welcome to the House and congratulations. I am confident that you'll be able to carry out your mandate and you make all the women proud. I have a question supplementary to the question asked by Senator Catherine Muma. In your response, you have indicated that 1,180 groups have benefited, about 12,538 members under the revised Constituency Women Enterprise Scheme. Honorable CS, as you can very well see, so many women have been left out of that bracket. 12,538 is almost an underwhelming number. And when you look at the women and the role they have towards the family, towards the community, they make up over 50% of our population. And we now have very many women who are heading homesteads as single parents. And we have very many women who are in very vulnerable categories. What is the ministry doing to ensure that this fund is accessible to many more women and to ensure that the requirement for security, even by the formal banking sector, when women are borrowing, that requirement, those requirements are being eased off to give women access to more finance and access to more loans to be able to do business and support their livelihoods and their families' livelihoods.
Senator Chute.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, let me take this opportunity to thank the CS for appearing before the Senate today, and also congratulate her for her appointment. And I wanted to tell Madam CS, the seat I am sitting on today was being occupied by Senator Cheptumo earlier. And your response was very good. Somebody gave you 80%. I'm giving you 90%. I have only one question. Madam CS, we had women from Marsabit who were trained about 6 months ago, from 6 months ago up to maybe a year. And I want you to visit Marsabit, if possible, and see how we can help the women of Marsabit County. As you are aware, Marsabit County is one of the most poorest counties, among the most poor counties in this republic. Kindly, karibu sana to Marsabit. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Senator George Mbugua.
Thank you, Speaker. CS, I would like you to tell this House what specific interventions your ministry has done to help women with disability access these loans on the digitized platform, and how many groups for women with disabilities have benefited. Thank you.
Senator Eddy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and good morning, CS. Let me also take this opportunity to congratulate you on your new role. And I must say that today I'm seeing the members of the House being very amicable and welcoming you to this House very amicably. But I must say that we as a House, in our oversight role, have faced a lot of challenges with a few CSS who sometimes are contentious to this House in terms of sometimes not honoring the invitations of this House. So I want to wish you the courage to veer from that path, even as you take this new role, that when we invite you to this House, I hope that the partnership will be that you also honor this House more than some CSS have done before. But that said, I just wanted to have a quick follow-up question. We had, as the CS in charge of cooperatives, and we were looking at the ASLAS fund, I think last week. And one of the challenges that we had was that there is no framework that is clear in terms of proper follow-up on people paying for these monies. I wanted to ask you on this particular fund that you are administering, what is the framework to ensure that people actually do abide by being able to pay back where it is required, and making sure that there's an evaluation framework for the impact of those funds with these women? What are the metrics you're using to evaluate that this money is placed in a place that is ensuring that the return on investment on those funds as a government? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable CS, you may now proceed to respond.
Thank you very much, Speaker Sir, for those questions. I'll attempt to answer. The answers that we'll not be able to give in full, we will commit. The first question was by the majority leader on how much we have requested through the budget, has been requested through the budget process, and the figure that we have is 4.5 billion. That is the amount, if approved, and given, then it will be able to push this agenda. And the other issue is about the county collaboration. The web is trying as much as possible to deal and reach out to the county governments, because that is where majority of Kenyan populace are, and we can work very well only if we merge our issues or work together with the counties. And from the data that we have, web is in collaboration with Nairobi County, Uasin Gishu County, and Kilifi County. And for the other counties, we are engaging more. They are engaging more together with our help as the ministry to ensure that all those counties are also reached. The other question was by Senator Kathuri, if I got the name properly, sorry if I didn't get. The performance of the fund since inception. Since inception, the amount of money that has been disbursed is 27 billion to over 136,000 groups. The question, one of the questions which was asked was whether we support the merger. The challenge that is there with the merger is the specialized groups. Women, for example, have their special way of doing things. The other groups also have a special way. So if we merge without looking at the ripple effects, then most likely it will again go back to frustrating the efforts which have been made. And as one member said, these are the people, the women have issues and they have specialized way of meeting their needs. And therefore it would be important that we pilot first before we completely merge, because it may actually kill the original objective. Senator Veronica Maina asked about the security that the groups are supposed to have. We are engaging the groups at the grassroots level, including the chiefs who know these women, and they can be able to help even when we are tracking the monies that have not been paid. And actually that is where we had a challenge when it comes to digitalization, because there wasn't a follow-up. But now the 10 members who belong to that group are known to the local administration. And that is almost the main security that we are looking at. And we have the officers who are monitoring and ensuring that we follow the repayment of that money almost on daily basis, because they are in contact, they have their records. Senator Mbugua asked the question about PWLD. We have this one. I would beg that I be allowed to get more details, because this is a group that has to be, dealt with very clearly. So I will be seeking for more clarification, although the answer that I have here is that we have a specific product, but we will design a product that will be specific. So allow me to follow up so that we get what is actually tailor-made specifically for these PWDs. On the issue of the recovery framework, the recovery framework is, they are looking at the physical visits and meetings of the individual borrowers. The group membership also guarantee themselves. And these people are being reached at the level in which they even understand the language. Because forms and these issues of borrowing are mostly in a language that sometimes may be difficult for them to interpret, but the officers who are reaching out to them are able to explain to them how they can fill those forms, how they use that money, and how they repay back. So I think those are the answers that I have. In case there is anything that we have not clarified, then we shall be seeking for more time to respond. About Marsabit, yes, we commit to visit so that we can find out what is happening and how the women would want us to move together. So that one I can commit.
Senator Mazayo, what is your issue, Senator Veronica, before Senator Mazayo takes to the floor?
Maybe Honorable CS can take time and even bring the answer later. What the ministry is doing to make sure the fund is reaching many more women, especially seeing that those who have benefited here are very few. That's one of the questions I asked. And then on the issue of security, it was in respect of what the ministry is doing to ensure even the formal banking sector has reduced the need for security, the securities that women do not own, like titles, heavy securities that make it difficult for women to access, had more finance from formal banking sector. What is the ministry doing to ensure that those requirements are eased for women to make it easy to access credit?
Honorable CS, we'll take a couple of questions before you take to the stand to respond. Senator for Kilifi, Senator